Okay, Math 8, Week 4. And here we go. Quizzes 1 and 2 of the unit and the unit test. All right, you can do that for getting ready for geometry. I love geometry. Do you like geometry? It's fun because everything has a picture. And we know that pictures tell 1,000 words, whereas words are only one word. So we get a lot of information. Okay, wow. Something just changed in Khan Academy. They updated it or something. All right. This was over here. This was not over here before. Okay. Does the coordinate C or the coordinate D represent a greater number in the following? Okay. So this is a rectangle and D is the Y coordinate. So thing about a rectangle is this Y coordinate is going to be the same as this Y coordinate because they're at the same level. And then this C is an X coordinate, which is not going to be the same as this X coordinate because they're different left, right, but it is going to be the same as that one. So D just wins. You just win, D. Okay. Rectangle ABCD is graphed in the coordinate plane. The following are the vertices of the rectangle. What is the area of the rectangle? All right, so what we want to do is we want to draw a rough sketch. And this will help us determine the sides. So I'm going to graph A right here. B is at 6, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice when I sketch my graph, I don't include all the little lines. I just make little tick marks. That's important. So, and then also we want to label the coordinates because if we don't, then we'll forget. All right, 6, 3. Well, that's where C is. It's at 6, 3. And so D must be right here at -2, 3. So I can see that I have this length here. So if I just draw it out here one more time, the vertical length is 1 because it goes from 2 to 3. What is the horizontal length though? Well, it's going from -2 to 6. So what's -2 minus 6? That would be -8. But the distance is not negative. The distance is positive. So those little bars are the absolute value bars, but you can just take the negative sign off. So subtract them. If you get answer negative, take the negative sign off. That's the distance between the 2 points. And so what is 8 times 1? Because that is the area of the rectangle. And we know that 8 times 1 is 8. So let's say 8. All right. Rania graphs the relationship between temperatures and elevation and elevation in 9 different cities. What was the temperature in the city with the elevation of -9 meters? So I'm looking at the axes and I'm seeing the units, and meters is on the x-axis. So that means I want the one where -9 is an x value. So I look over here and up and I see -9, 7. So the answer is 7 degrees Celsius. All right. So given what's the length, you can do that one. The area one is more difficult, so that's a little bit easier. Okay, Jerome graphed the relationship between the temperature and the change in the number of people sledding at a park. The x-coordinate is the temperature in degrees Celsius, and the y-coordinate is the change in the number of people who are sledding. which quadrants could contain a point showing a decrease in the number of people sledding? All right, sorry, I got distracted. So the x-coordinate is the temperature and the y-coordinate is the change in the number of people who are sledding. So as the temperature increases, if the negative would be the decrease in people sledding, so that would be 3 and 4. Negative, decrease. All right, quiz 2. Let's go. Oh, they really threw me off. They updated Khan Academy in the middle of the day. It was not like that this morning. Okay, this is a good one. You will do this in 8th grade geometry. Okay. And so we have the angle, the whole angle, and you can see this box there. That means 90 degrees. And then we can see 1, 2, 3 smaller angles within it. But if you add them all together, which would look like this, then they would add up to the total thing, which is 90 degrees, as we said. So I'm going to just combine my like terms. And I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. Divide by 4. X equals 20. In this case, they're asking for X. But in some cases, they might ask for the angle measure, in which case you would substitute X in. Okay. Wow. So we have this 180-degree angle here. So I'm just looking at the picture and making sense. A 90-degree angle. I don't know why. And it X in 26. So do you know that all the way around is 360? That's one tool we can use. Also, a straight line is 180. That's another tool we can use. And so if this is 90 over here, then this has to be 90 as well, because 90 plus 90 is 180, and 180 and 180 is 360. In any case, X plus 26 must equal 90, and you can solve that. So I'm moving on. Ooh. This is a good time to tell you about 2 important angles. So one looks like that, something like that. And another one is any 2 angles that cross. So the first type is called a linear pair. 2 angles whose non-common sides form a straight line, which is 180 degrees. That's a linear pair, very important. And then the other type is vertical angles. 2 angles across from each other in an X. They are the same. I should say for the linear pair, they add to 180. Okay, so these angles right here add to 180, and these angles right here would be the same, and these angles would be the same as well. They're vertical, vertical. Okay, so 2 pairs of vertical angles here, up and down and left and right. But this figure, what do we see? We see a linear pair. So that X angle plus the 32 angle add together to be 180. So you can solve that for X. I'm moving on. Now this one, these are vertical angles. Amazing. I just said that, vertical angles. So these ones would be equal You divide both sides by 10. What do you get? You get 15. They just wanted us to write the equation. Okay. So this one, we have 1, 2, 3 angles that form a straight line. So this kind of puts everything we've done together. X plus 90 plus 23 equals 180, and you can solve that. It's good practice equation solving, and you can do it. You don't need my help for that. All right, so after you do those two, let's see. Oh, not get ready for geometry. After you do those two, make sure you do the unit test, which should be all of it together. And post in the organizer and have fun.